for being back here for the third Startup City Miami. This wouldn't be possible without the generous support of our good friend and my dear friend, Matt Hageman. Thank you again, Matt, for making this happen. And for my amazing colleagues at Atlantic Live. If you've been coming to this for 3 years or observing the scene here in Greater Miami and South Florida as we have, I think you can say that the progress has been nothing short of remarkable. Matt and I were talking, and literally none of the companies that we're hearing from today were on the map 3 years ago. In fact, one of the companies, their first event they participated in moving to Miami was last year's Startup City Miami. And it's really remarkable what we've accomplished, and I think there's 2 reasons for it. The first reason is this incredible set of macro trends which really advantage this region. I'm working on a book. I call it The New Urban Crisis. It'll be done in about a year. But in that book, I talk about the rise of what I call winner-take-all urbanism, and it's really scary. Because what we're seeing in the world is a very small group of global cities, New York and London, San Francisco in some areas of tech. I can go on. A very small group of cities ascending to the ranks and capturing a lot of the gains, causing not only economic inequality, but geographic inequality. Whether you look at real estate and the trends in the housing market, the number of buildings under construction, where people want to vote with their feet, Miami is on that list. Miami is on that list of one of the world's great superstar cities. Now, the reason it's on the list doesn't have a lot to do with what we're talking about today. People want to be in Miami because it's a great place to live. It's a great place to be. It has spectacular architecture. It has great stuff to do. It has great weather. It has great beaches and great oceans. But one of the things that the city has been able to do, the region has been able to do, and that you've been able to do is leverage that trend back towards urbanity. So what have we seen in the startup community? We've seen a couple of remarkable shifts over the past decade. One is the nearly wholesale abandonment of the Nerdistan, the old suburban office park way of organizing high-tech industries. There's been a massive migration. Our data shows it. A recent report on TechCrunch shows it. Almost everyone who's looked at this can see it. A massive migration of high-tech companies out of Silicon Valley into the dense urban neighborhoods in San Francisco. And a startling fact, a city which virtually had not one dime of venture capital investment 2 or 3 decades ago, New York City and Lower Manhattan, has this year become the second largest attractor of venture capital investment in the world. It's happening in London. It's happening in Berlin. It's happening, Matt and this group just got back from Tel Aviv. It's happening in Jerusalem. It's happening in vibrant urban centers around the country. And it's happening in Miami, in places people would have hardly expected it. Places like Wynwood and the areas around Wynwood, which emerged as a center for arts and culture. And in fact, it's becoming so successful in Wynwood, we're starting to see a little bit of the tension that we see in New York's Chelsea, where the arts community and the technology community are having a little bit, not like Chelsea, but a little bit of friction. This move to urbanity, and why? Because the talented and creative people who are going to build these startups and are going to build these companies want to be in dense urban environments. And 2 advantages Greater Miami has. One, in addition to great beaches and great weather and a great place to be, it is one of the most diverse and open-minded places in the world. Just think about what this idiot governor of Indiana did this week. Think about that. Miami has been long the kind of place, no matter where you're from, if you're an Orthodox religious person, or if you're on the fringes of new music culture, if you're gay or lesbian, you're welcome to be, not only to come live here, but you're welcome to be who you are. Miami is a place that has a variety of living options, from tall towers to great neighborhoods to oceans and bays and all the rest of great urban living. It has a phenomenal airport that can't be discounted. In our own analysis, we have done the role of a great international airport has about the effect of high-tech clusters or of human capital and talent amassing in a community. And that airport is a big part of the story because people who would have spread out across South Florida are now finding access to airport and access to international travel, to get to deals, to get to business, to be able to connect to the world is a key asset. I could go on, but the numbers look good. In this past year, Greater Miami has attracted over $350 million in venture capital. It ranks 15th in the country, according to the most recent data. And in software and in new media, it ranks in the top 10. It's not just been the macro trends that count. It's been the incredible investment and hard work of each and every one of you in forging a new model of a startup ecosystem. With the support of Matt and the Knight Foundation, this ecosystem is building in a very different way than the Silicon Valley ecosystem, the San Francisco ecosystem, the New York ecosystem, or other ecosystems that came from one large breeder company, you've seen the reports, or came from the actions of one entrepreneur acting uber instrumentally. This has come from the ground up, from a community of startups and a community of entrepreneurs and a community of investors and a community of people building incredible public-private partnership. And in that sense, it really stands out as a unique model. There's a long way to go. It's a tall climb to get from 15th to the top 5. And those are the Silicon Valleys, the San Franciscos, the New Yorks, the Greater Bostons, and the Austins. But the progress that this community's made has been remarkable. I just want to say thanks again for participating in the 3rd annual Startup City Miami. And hopefully with all of your effort and the hard work that each and every one of you are doing, there will be many more. Thank you.